This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Naturally, when you combine things like Shrek and dressing up nice and also have a tagline that's like, cool is dead, things are dumb, come have fun, I'm gonna go.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hey, I'm Mandy, you're watching Swell Entertainment, and today we are talking about Swamp Gala from Shrek Rave. Yes, those two things do exist. So I've never actually been to a rave, not really. I've been to rave-esque events and events that have turned into raves, but I've never actually been to a rave. And mainly it's because I truly do not think it would appeal to me in my free time. I thrive in chaos, but lately, especially after the pandemic, I talked about this in my 5 Seconds of Summer VIP experience review, that I don't like the idea of like fighting someone for space if I don't have to in my leisure time. If I'm gonna go and enjoy music and like dance and vibe and have fun, I don't want to be elbowing mothers. I'm just not in the mood. I swore way too early. Again, I'm exhausted. But before we jump right into investigating the swamp, let me tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Squarespace. Squarespace is a beautiful and powerful online platform tool to help you create your perfect website. And it's also the platform that we trust here at Swell Entertainment to run swellentertainment.com. Flexible website templates help you get a great starting point, but with Fluid Engine, Squarespace gives you the ability to customize the entire website. You can drive sales and engage your audience with Squarespace email campaigns. Whether you have physical, digital, service projects, or even custom merch, Squarespace has the tools you need to start selling online. Squarespace also has portfolios and galleries, so whether you want to display your work or just show off your social media posts, Squarespace is the place for you. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and then once you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/swellentertainment to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain or a website. Can't wait to see what you create. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. This weekend's been a bit hectic, like I'm filming this on a Sunday. That tells you the type of weekend I've been having. But last night I went to the Swamp Gala, which then turned into the Shrek Rave. It's a whole thing. But a few of you have been asking me to go to the Shrek Rave or to check it out because you're like, is this a real thing? I keep seeing the advertisements, and I just never went because it didn't particularly appeal to me. But Swamp Gala, that does appeal to me because it just sounds ridiculous. There is an element of meme ability, go with that intrigued me. I think that this event probably would have been better if they had taken itself more seriously as a full-on gala, because they kind of blurred the lines between Swamp Gala and Shrek Rave, which led to a lot of confusion from ticket holders on the site and all of that, so that we'll talk. So I saw the advertisement for Swamp Gala and I was like, naturally I have to go. And it was advertised to me on Instagram. A lot of people were asking me how I heard about it. I heard about it through an Instagram advertisement. Things get promoted to me all the time because I am a goblin who never logs off, and I cover a lot of events. So a lot of random events get promoted to me. That's how I've been finding a couple of random events, at least the ones promoted via Instagram. But what I really liked about this is that on Instagram for Shrek Rave, when they announced that they were going to do Swamp Gala, they included a lookbook, a Polyvore-esque lookbook of the different looks for characters and what they expected for the attire for Swamp Gala. And I was like, this is brilliant. Give me a lookbook. Give me a guidebook. Tell me exactly what the vibes are going in. The initial announcement post that I saw was from April 8th, okay? Almost a full month ago now. No, God, almost a full 2 months ago now. Technically, because we're at the end of May. But Shrek Rave, it's dumb. Just come have fun. Shrek theme ball, cool is dead, who cares? And I think that kind of may have been the problem, is they went the whole cool is dead, come have fun, that. Like, you're mixing a few messages in there, which I get it, come have fun, cool is dead, come dressed up as a character. But then when you then require the formal attire, you're kind of blurring the lines a little bit. We're getting some mixed messages. 4 dates, Hollywood Palladium, the Bomb Factory in Dallas, Texas, Mission Ballroom in Denver, Colorado, and Terminal 5 in New York City. Okay, so the first one was the Hollywood Palladium. So it'll be interesting to see the coverage, or if anyone posts anything from the other ones, because it's going to be interesting to see how they tweak this for future events. But I was excited because I don't live too far from the Palladium, so I was like, perfect. And then they posted different lookbooks. So for Fiona, it's a ball gown, a picture of Fiona, a gold tiara, gold jewelry, braids, heels. For Shrek, it's a green suit, loafers, Shrek ears. They got the dragon look. They've got donkey. They kept doing that, which I like. I have a prom dress for my senior year of high school that I still own. Why do I still own it? I never sold it. I kept thinking I was going to sell it. Like, oh, it'll get like more life. You know, I spent almost a whole paycheck, which at the time I think was $127. That was like 2 weeks of work at my retail job. when I was in high school and I was all proud of myself. I was like, I bought my prom dress. Oh, you poor summer child. I still have it though. And I was like, God, I wonder if that still fits because that would be perfect. It's a ball gown. I look great in it. It's navy blue. So I tried it on and it fit. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I could bleach this, lighten it like a little bit, and then dye it with yellow dye and get a green color because that would be perfect. When I tell you this dress is basically indestructible. I bleached that thing 3 mother fluffin' times, dyed it with yellow dye, bright yellow dye 3 times, still navy blue. Didn't change colors at all. If anything, there's like a sheer tool essence on the sides. That is a little yellow because it was white before. Just a little, and a few of the jewels fell off from the hot water that I used. That's it. That is all. It's still intact. The bleach didn't damage it at all. The dye didn't damage it at all. It's navy blue. It's intact. It's fine. So that was like 3 days of my life wasted trying to make something of that. But I had another dress that I wore to my friend's wedding last month. That's an Alice and Olivia dress that I bought secondhand, and I was like, this is good. I don't have to dye it. Okay, here's the look for Swamp Gala. There are the shoes, way down there. I painted them, they look like shit. This Alice and Olivia dress has gotten me through not 1, but 2 events now. If that's all it gets me through, I will have to accept that. I bought it secondhand too, so it's probably been through a lot more. Bright green Alice and Olivia dress, it is. Also, I look good in it, so it's fine. And then I had these heels that I also bought for the wedding that I just didn't end up wearing, that were black, that I painted gold with like craft paint. They held up pretty well, all things considered. Like I was expecting a lot of flaking, and they didn't flake at all, really. I say that as I flake off a piece. And then I was all excited because I was like, I look so cute. I wore my hair in a braid. It was all cute. This is day 2 hair. That's why it looks sad and fallen. I was checking social media and they posted on one of the posts that was posted for Shrek Gala, like, oh, Shrek Gala is in 2 days. Are you excited? It mentioned formal attire required. And people in the comment sections were pissed because they were like, why didn't you tell us formal attire was required? I'm coming in my rave outfit. My nipple pasties are formal attire. I don't know if anyone actually said that. I just thought it was funny. And so I said it. People were very pissed. And I was floored because I was like, I thought that was very clear. I was like all impressed that they gave a lookbook like for like different looks to do. And they kept doing that for multiple characters. And so I thought that was very odd that they were saying that it was not clear when this is Swamp Gala and then their Shrek rave. Like I thought it was very clear that there was 2 separate events. This is from 2 days ago and it's been edited. Guys, only 1 day until the first ever Swamp Gala. Who's excited? Fancy attire required. And then it showed a video of like one of their animated videos. And someone commented, I heard some people are taking their rave outfits. It wasn't clear to us that ballroom attire is required. Please let us in. And Shrek Rave replied, everyone who bought a ticket will be let in, although we highly encourage following the dress code. I just don't understand why y'all would lately tell people it's ballroom attire. It should have been on the flyer from the start. Black tie event still going though. It has been announced since the beginning. We have been posting fit inspo for weeks. The flyer even shows Shrek dancing, dressing fancy. So I go up to the Palladium. So people have been lined up outside. A little before 9, they let people fill in through the gate to actually get onto the Palladium property. That's like the back lot basically. And then at about 9:01, 9:02 is when they actually started letting people go through security. They checked my ID first because it was a 18 and up event, and then go through security. And this is where clearly like I'm getting some looks. I'm wearing heels because I was like, I'm gonna look cute. I don't know, because I'm at the very least thinking like this is, yeah, Shrek Rave presents Swamp Gala. I'm thinking the entire thing is going to be Swamp Gala. That's what I'm thinking. And then they had a green carpet. And this is where I started seeing more people actually fully dressed up in like ball gown attire, but still like in the style of Shrek characters. There's these girls that were in like full ball gown attires, full face paint for Fiona and Donkey and all this stuff, which is fun. The green carpet's a nice touch. I like that a lot. Then they had us go through, scan our tickets right at the door. I got a balcony ticket for the event because so I could get a good vantage point of filming, you know, how the vibes are for myself. It was funny because I was asking security checking me and I was like, hey, what are the vibes? And she's like, I don't know, but it's gonna be a good time. And then she's like, wait a minute, I watched you on YouTube. I was really watching your videos. You have a good ass time. So that was funny. Go inside. We got green mood lighting everywhere. The green carpet continues down the walkway. We got red velvet ropes along the side. We got bar right away. Right away, people start drinking. Perfect, wonderful. General admission, floor space. So I went and got some clips. We got a DJ going right away. This is not the DJ that was there the rest of the night, I don't believe. This one was a dude. We had a girl DJs for most of the night. Some people are just kind of milling around, all this stuff, drinking. Once you walk in, go all the way to the right of the Palladium. They had Swamp Gala merch. And I think the funniest part about this, I don't think I got a clip of this because the person sitting there was no line. So there was like no one to distract the fact that I was taking a clip. So, which is sometimes an issue. So it was literally like the merch line at When We Were Young Fest. That's how much waiting line. They had cornered off for. I don't think a single person bought a shirt, at least from what I could tell. So we got, instead of the Met, the Swamp, a donkey shirt that said Swamp Gala. Galas are like onions, Swamp Gala, and then Swamp Gala instead of Met Gala. I feel like you could have leaned into the Met Gala comparison more, because I don't think you did that enough, which is what led to the Shrek rave. Is this a rave? Is this a gala comparison? You needed to lean into one more or the other, and I don't think you did that. I debated staying at Barricade for a while, and then I remember that I was wearing heels, and I was already exhausted because I'd been up since 4 a.m. because I had to drive down from San Jose for a different video. And I was going to die. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go up and get some clips from upstairs. And I was like, if worst case scenario, I come down, when I get footage there. But I'd rather be able to go up and come down than get stuck like at the Barricade during the rave or whatever. I ended up talking to these 2 sisters. They were like, you can stay with us. One was dressed as Donkey. One was dressed as Fiona. They were like, yeah, we weren't sure if we were going to wear gowns or if we wanted to do ass out. So one of them was in a full bodysuit. And then the other one was in a little sundress. And they were like, oh, you're here alone, all this stuff. They were making comments about being in their 30s and my knees hurt. When's the party gonna start? Because they brought out a string quartet, or not even a string quartet, string thruple. What is it when there's 3 of them? I think they called them the 3 All-Stars or something. And they were playing classical versions of famous Shrek songs. So we got Smash Mouth's All-Star. They repeated one of the songs, and the girl I was with was like, we already played this. Play Bad Bunny. Where's Bad Bunny? There was a couple of times where people were dancing because they were like, hey, let's get some dancing going on. And so there would be a handful of people jokingly ballroom dancing. But when you have a clump of people right at the Barricade, it's a little hard to dance around like that. Again, you're kind of merging the gala vibes with the rave vibes. So you just kind of have a hodgepodge mess. I'm surprised no one lost an eye. You know what I'm saying? Where it's you got to kind of lean into one more or the other. But doing we're going to have a gala first and then a rave, that was probably not going to work out. So I think having the more clear defined line would have been better. I'll be interested to see what happens going forward. Then the MC brought out the director of the first Shrek movie. Everyone lost their fucking minds.
Oh my God, thank you guys for coming and for being such amazing fans. The last time I came to this, to a rave with Cash, I didn't realize just how many people were raised on Shrek. You guys are growing up in a really complicated time, It sucks, right? So thank God for Cash and for a return to something beautiful and simple. And I think everybody can remember that really what the movie says and what all of you know is that everyone deserves love.
They had the DJ came out, DJ played a bunch of songs from Shrek and then remixed them with a bunch of other songs. Much more Shrek songs than I was anticipating because there is so much from all these soundtracks. The soundtracks are gold. But a lot of people were complaining that there wasn't a lot of Shrek-themed music on the post that I saw from previous Shrek raves. So they were like, I'm not going to go because it's not Shrek-themed music or whatever. But that was the entirety of what I heard. So I think it was fine. They did have a fairy godmother performer who came out and ripped off her skirt and did a little bit of a burlesque dance sing-along, which I thought was fun. And then at one point, I took a note because the DJ paused and said, Swamp Gala, you're all so Shreksy. And everyone lost their shit. The girls I was with went down at one point. They were like, do you want to come with us? I was like, I'm good because I was going to die. I'm literally clutching to the table because my feet are killing me and I'm exhausted. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to make it to midnight and then I'm going to leave. So I put in a good 3 hours. I knew something was coming at some point because on the stage they had the onion carriage, they had the blow up Shrek and Fiona. The entire time the visuals on for the rave, I'm like, am I being inducted into the Shrek cult? The Swamp Gala visuals are just rendered enough to not be creepy, but they're funny. Like very old Barbie movie visuals, knockoff. How certain companies would make knockoff Disney movies when they were popular. They still do this now. They're movie. I can't remember the exact name of the movie, but they're stealth copies or whatever, where it's a movie made exactly like a movie that they know is from a big budget production company is going to make a fuckload of money, and they're hoping that on streaming or on demand that they will buy the wrong movie as a way of getting secondary money from making these productions. The main one I remember is one from Pacific Rim that was like a Pacific Rim copy that was like, I think I watched it. I think it was dog shit. I can't remember the name of it. And that is the vibe animation style that was in this Swamp Gala animation video, which I just thought was very funny. And then they had all of these other visuals, which I'm assuming are just the Shrek Rave visuals, which I don't think is a problem. But again, we're blurring the line between Swamp Gala or Shrek Rave. If this is Shrek Rave presents Swamp Gala, you need to go full Swamp Gala with it. Just go full Swamp Gala, okay? You got classical music playing as you are coming in. You've got some fun lights. Maybe you do a full like green carpet experience where you get photos taken outside with the green carpet. Maybe not the entire thing, because then you've got like bottlenecking, like with security. So you do like a break off. You can go right inside through the green carpet, or you can go into the Swamp Gala green carpet and you have like some fun little security people. Invite some photographers or two and then have them on like Facebook or a website after the fact. People would love that. Oh my gosh, people would dress up like crazy for that. Go full Met Gala with it. I think that's just what you got to do. You got to commit. Once you're inside, then you can move into the Shrek Rave portion if you really want to, after you do the string quartet and all of this stuff. But like when you mix in onion eating contests, yes, they have that. With the Swamp Gala vibes, you're going to give a mixed message. The head of Shrek Rave, who does look like someone who would have founded Shrek Rave, he was like, we're going to do an onion eating contest. You have to eat a whole onion aside from the little end bit. You'll get $300. And someone next to me was like, I don't think that's enough money. Actually, no, it is. Actually, no, it isn't. I was like, I don't think that's enough money. But I mean, if you're already, so what did I pay? Let me pull up what I paid. For the VIP balcony space, I paid $80.50. So, I mean, you know, general admission, some people were selling these tickets during the concert week. So a lot of tickets were $25. Yeah, $300 I can justify because it's way more than the cost of the ticket and all of that. But what ends up happening, I'd be pissed. So like everyone came up, some people weren't in costumes. They were like, I want people in costumes. I want people not in costumes, mixing it up. Someone was dressed up as an onion. That's what I want. I think the smartest thing you can do for future Swamp Galas is advertise photos of people who dressed up fully in the ball gown-esque style, like the formal attire style of Swamp Gala. I think that's the best way to do this. Like, this is what we're looking for. The lookbook clearly isn't working. So I think you guys need to go full. And also I think with carousel posts, when you're kind of doing an operation like this, you have to assume that people are just seeing the Swamp Gala post and they're not swiping through and seeing the lookbooks. You got to lead with the lookbook. You got to lean more into the, hey, we need formal attire up front. And also, I'm assuming it, I believe it was on all the Shrek themed ball. I mean, if you just saw this, what would you think? I would assume formal gala. But also you got Shrek Rave up here, up top. So I don't know. I could tell there was some like, not frustration, but they were like, what's up? Why aren't we ballroom dancing? You know, that type of thing. You seem to have people running around dressed as fairy godmother, which I think is a good idea to have people around hyping up. But then I don't think there's anything wrong with like going full Bridgerton with it and having official people who are the ballroom dancers to get the crowd going. You know what I'm saying? Like they're dancing. Maybe they're grabbing strangers and being like, hey, let's dance. And like walking them through like waltzes and things like that. I think that's probably the best bet for whatever you're actually trying to do. If you don't really care and this is just a stupid thing to have fun and you actually want to do the Shrek Rave, then ignore everything I'm saying, okay? But like I could tell there was a little bit of like, this isn't fucking working. And I'm explaining to you probably why this isn't working. They did the onion eating contest. They had about 8 people. Oh, he pulled out, backed out.
That man drinking swamp juice. Shit, I'ma call it. This man right here is the onion eating champion.
And one guy just devoured that onion. Devoured that thing, gets $300, looks like he's gonna puke. And then immediately the guy said, you know what? You all did so good. I'm gonna give you all $100 for participating. And the guy who won looked so annoyed. I too would be fucking pissed. I don't care if I got 200 more than everyone else. If I went through that, if I devoured that onion in record time and then everyone else got a consolation cash, I would be annoyed. The DJ came back out, started playing again, and then they had a stage dancer come out and dance. They had someone in lingerie that was almost like fairy pixie lingerie come out with like what looked like a cannon. And I think she came out, but I missed it. So I'm assuming she didn't, I just missed it. But I think she was like firing off the coupons or whatever. But I don't know if, I never saw anyone buying a shirt while I was there. And it was under me, so they could have gone through at one point. But like the line for the shirts, actually hilarious. Do you guys sell merch? Like actually? Like what is your actual percentage of merch sales? Because I know the Palladium takes a cut, I think, for merch tables, but I don't know if they would do it for something like this. I know for bands and musicians they do. Closing in on midnight, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down and do a lap, see if anyone was at the merch table, see what the deal was. I'm walking out, heading out, and then all of a sudden I hear drag at Swamp Gala, and I was like, parked. They did, I think it was from the Shrek musical. Yeah, so they did I Know It's Today from the Shrek musical, and it was 3 performers. It was kind of fun because they're all dressed as Fiona, and then they all have the storybook. Someone walks up, yanks the storybook, that person freezes, and then they do their portion of the song, and then they all come together. Very fun. Someone came dressed up as Lord Farquaad and the Gingerbread Man, and they had a full little argument, and then the Gingerbread Man basically just stunts on Lord Farquaad for like 5 minutes.
Considering I got up at 4 a.m. and drove 5 hours today, I consider myself very lucky to have made it to midnight.
I don't know how late it was going to go. I'm assuming 1 to 2 a.m. I was going to try and make it, but then I was like, I'm going to get murdered here if I have to walk back to my car this far in Hollywood. I called my dad and he was like, are you fucking done yet? Like getting back to your car? I was like, not particularly. Fucking wait. I'm trying not to get murked, okay? Thank you. It was funny because earlier on in the night, I went by a mutual on social media's 30th birthday party. He had someone else there and she was like, so like, what do you do? I was like, I just travel everywhere. And she was like, you go everywhere alone? I was like, yeah. She was like, what the fuck? Like, she was like trying to understand what I was doing alone anywhere. I mentioned I went to Europe. She was like, how many times were you assaulted? And I was like, 0. She was like, what am I doing with my life? My God. Some people were annoyed about the formal gala attire, but like everyone who was dressed up was having a good time. They were like, I look good, you know, that type of thing. They're all taking photos. The cost, I think it's fine. I mean, I paid $80 because I know where I was standing. And it was funny because they had the bottle service tables, which I did not do this time, obviously. But the girls I was with were like, I want to sit the fuck down. So they thought about it, but didn't. As someone who likes my own personal space, being up on the balcony, ideal for me for something like this. Would I go to Shrek Rave alone by myself again? No. I would probably go with friends and that type of thing. But everyone that I talked to about, they were like, of course you're going, but also I thought that was fake. A lot of people saw the advertisement and thought it was a scam and not a real thing, so no one bought it. Quite a few people asked me about that. They were like, that's a real thing? I was like, I'm gonna fucking find out. Lucky for me, you know, it's a real thing. I got inside. I just think that if you guys leaned more into the formal wear aspect, you would get better results with that. Like if you do like a full like photo op at the start versus buried in, advertise the photos taken, but only maybe only advertise the photos of people in formal dresses if that's what you want. If you start highlighting that people wore rave looks to Shrek Swamp Gala, then you're going to get more rave looks. You know what I'm saying? Which again, not a problem. If you want to have Shrek Rave, have Shrek Rave. But you're advertising this as almost a separate event, but it's clearly not enough separation because people are like, why am I not allowed to wear rave attire? You are. So I just think that there needs to be a separation of swamp and state is what I'm saying. Okay. So that's kind of really it. There's not a whole lot else to say. The $25 price for, you know, the rest of Swamp Gala I think is fine. Can't wait to see the fits tonight. Again, get here early if you want a ballroom dance. So again, when you say early, I checked to be like, am I supposed to go at 7? No, you're supposed to go at 9, but like it was just an hour. I don't get the rave happens later in the night. Yeah, an hour in. Many people are confused. Gala attire is the dress code encouraged, but we won't be rejecting anyone from the party. Yeah, see, I don't think you want to be doing this. Swamp Gala is underway. So the Swamp Gala tickets for the get tickets. Yeah, so $28 for general admission. It's pretty good for a full rave. It depends what you want. If you want Shrek Rave, do Shrek Rave. If you want Swamp Gala, lean more into the Swamp Gala. I'm not saying you have to have classical music playing the entire time, but like, sort yourself out. Would I go again? Probably not. Just not my thing. But overall, I thought it was very fun and very cool. And it's cool to see everyone's different interpretation of costumes and things like that. And like, you know, couples who were like, I'm going to be Fiona, you're going to be the donkey. And like, there wasn't a ton of like Shreks and Fionas, which I thought was interesting. It was a lot of like a Fiona and then a bunch of other characters, not a ton of Shreks. A few people did Shreks and they would do like the low-key Shrek where they would just wear like the burlap like shawl and then like a white dress. Like that was like their Shrek. And that's really going to be it. Have you ever heard of Shrek Rave? Did you hear about Swamp Gala? Did you also think it was fake? Was this the thing that you thought I was going to go to this weekend? Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder, I have a podcast, the Swell Shenanigans podcast. Reminder, I have merch. I don't know if there's going to be one for this one because I mean, their merch didn't sell. Why would this merch sell? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting my Patreon. If you also support my channel, that'll be listed down below. I can find out social media. That'll be up here. And that's going to be a hell of a day. Goodbye. Who cares? Cool is dead. Nothing matters. Come have fun. Yeah, I think if you would get rid of all of that, you might get more formal attire. Mixed messages is all I'm saying. Thank you, Andrew, Allen, Awful, BJ, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Crispy, Crispy, Crash PC, China, Dirty One, Don, Elliot, Donnie, Evan, Eric, Eal, Hopeless Homer, Incognito, Isaiah, Joe, John M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kim, Kristen, Justin, Lamb, Lexus, Louise, Mae West, Madeline, Matt, Matthew S, Meme Lord, Michael, Michael J, Michael T, Micah, Nathaniel, Pat, Penn, Richard, Philip, Rob, Rosie, Red, Robert, Ross, Ryan, Sam, Serena, Skylar, Simon, Tasha, Timothy, Heavenly Plastic, Tyler, Tenzin, Tom, Thomas, Qwerty, Victor, Randy, Winter, Wendy, Will, Williams, Endries, Wink.